Good morning, everyone. Thought I'd be able to get a little breakfast before coming back to you, but look at this rotation. Look at this move. I mean, what a great example. Okay, we still have our loser range over in this area. Oop. So remember, we have our avoid loser range, and we're waiting to see which side confirms. We're rolling through the apex. Remember that apex pattern here, this flag formation here in the dash cyan line. Very, very important to see how this plays out. We're actually, this is the line I drew in the last video where I left off back over here. But what we're really getting now, guys, is a big extended washout low that may come over here and try to break, or may just go straight up. Looks like it's getting some real momentum here. And the reason I can say that is we're starting to see higher lows and we're starting to see higher highs. So we're getting some real move in the direction that we are expecting for the flag breakout. And now we need to see what actually happens. So I'll shrink this down a little bit, drag this over. Remember, I'm trying to make this as clean as I can for you. So let's see what happens here. We're still waiting for confirmation. We do not have any real confirmation. Looks like the sellers are trying to come in here and maybe set up another low. And so we'll see how this goes. Okay, that's a new low again. So we have a potential here for more price expansion. We've got to see what happens. We are technically below these levels here again, these lower avoid loser range levels. So let's see what happens here. See if we get any support coming back in by the end of this bar. This could be a rejection of the flag pattern, and that would be fine. We still have our primary resistance area here, and then we have the upper resistance areas here. Obviously, we have this new high and these new lows. I am, for the most part, not counting this high off of this Fibonacci level, simply because, I mean, it wouldn't make a big difference. But here, come up to this level, move my resistance support area, and there you go. Doesn't make that much of a big difference. Looks like we might get a little rejection here. See what happens. All right. Well, below again the inner loser range area, away from the lower loser range area. We've been here before. We could be moving into a very tight channel. Again, with some extra volatility. Let me get rid of this low back here. And let's just see what happens. I mean, we're set up in a mode that, as I would tell my followers, we're not trying to trade this kind of crap. This is very difficult for traders. You're talking about basically a 4.5 point range, very, very volatile. I mean, yeah, you could set yourself up a range up here and say, look, as long as it trades within this range, I want to try to sell up in this area and I want to try to buy down in this area. That's maybe legitimate. You could consider doing that. I won't. Okay, I won't, because I don't want to deal with the whole idea that I could get chopped around and blown out very quickly. That's a matter of, when you start thinking about, I'm going to sell here and I'm going to have my stop up here. Okay, so what do you have? You're going to sell in this area. You have a 3 point stop, and you're trying to target a 5.5 point rotation if you're lucky. And again, can be done, but not what I want to do. I want to catch the trends, and I want to avoid the losers. Okay, so now we come back here. We're getting a little selling pressure. Let's see what happens. Move my mouse out of the way here. Could be another rejection here, could be a big breakdown. Obviously, if we closed right here, I'd say we're looking at a pretty solid breakdown. Okay, could be breaking downward again. See what happens here. No confirmation yet. No confirmation yet. Kind of like watching paint dry. Okay, so now ask your questions. Okay, on these videos, the whole reason I'm doing all of this is for you guys to ask your questions. I want you to see this data. I want you to see how it works. I want you to understand the constructs that take place in order to do this on your own. That's the entire purpose of this, is to show you how to do this on your own. Let me get rid of that. Trying to keep some of this in here, but we don't need all of it. All right, we'll leave that. Okay, looking like we're going to break down here. Let's see what happens. Pretty solid, taking out lows. Remember, price always attempts to seek new lows. Okay, this looks like a pretty solid breakdown. Look how close we are to taking out this level here. So it looks like we got to wait till the end of the bar with this rotation, this flagging. It looks like we're getting into downward trending very cleanly outside of the avoid loser range. Again, I wouldn't take the trade until we break below this level. I really would not do that. I would not advise you do that, simply because, as I mentioned to you over here, we have a lot of air that can be filled in and taken. So we need to see that there is really solid downward trending before we try to make a move, because otherwise we could just roll right back up to the upside. Okay, this is not confirmation yet. We're outside the avoid loser range. Yeah, we're getting some confirmation of the downside. We got an anchor bar. Okay, good. Now we need some confirmation. We need price to move down below this level and really confirm. It looks like it's getting ready to do it. So let's see. That would mean we're coming down to this area right over here. So that would mean we are going to move into this area right here and try to find support. If we rejected this area, particularly off of this double bottom, then we're setting up a double bottom formation, which means we'll likely move back up into this avoid loser range area and begin the process all over again. The flag has obviously been broken. We're getting deep rotation. We may set up another flag. So when you think about this, if we come in here and we get into some mild rotation, we could very easily come back up here, set up a flag, and then rally back out of it. So that's something that's very viable right here. Very likely could happen, could stay within this avoid loser range area and trying to move out of this range. So you've got to be patient. This is, in my opinion, not something I want to trade. And again, what I'm trying to teach you is the same thing. Use these techniques to avoid crappy price data. Okay, we are still setting up a range bound setup here. We are bouncing off these lows just like we talked. Now we get the rally back up here. So we do have this anchor bar. This now sets up a new range here, and down here. So if we get outside of this range, one way or the other, and I'll set this up a little different color. I know I've got all these colors in here. Well, I'll leave that one and come in here, bright green. So basically, we've got to get outside of this range, this 5280 to 5275, roughly. Got to get outside of that range. Price is now setting up, the anchor bar sets up a predominant trend. which is either a success or failure. Remember, which side confirms, which side fails. This is a downward anchor bar. This means that we should see follow through to the downside. We didn't. Looks like it's failing. Particularly looks like it's failing here. But true failure would mean we have to get above this level to move into potential higher levels. Well, where's our higher levels, guys? Well, you've got the avoid loser range here and here. You've got the avoid loser range here and here. And you've got our anchor bar levels here and here, along with the ultimate low level down here. And then eventually you've got the outside avoid loser range right here, and our bigger breakaway target level right here, which I will make more of a green color. So the reality here is we now have this consolidation range, the avoid loser range, which I'll put back over here. You now have the anchor bar range. And then you have the real trigger range here. Let's call this confirmed bullish trigger level. Oh, look what happened. Look what happened. Boy, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. And you have the ultimate low trigger level. Okay, well, looks like we know what price is going to do here. There is your breakdown. Very, very clean. Again, we are now headed down to this area. Price is very clean. Once you got below this level right here, you were safe to sell. Any new low below that level is going to qualify as price is establishing a new low. It's breaking down. It's going to move downward. There's nothing you can do. That's a multiple confirmation trigger. Breaking an ultimate low is really critical. That means that no matter what, it's trying to put in a new low. It could go down 2 points, it could go down 200 points, but it's trying to set up a new low. Your stop level would be right up in this area. Initially, we would avoid all of this, so I can get rid of all of this and that and that and that, as well as this and this and this and this and this and this. And you can see the mechanics of trading is very, very clear. You've already got the breakdown. It's going to continue down, probably down into this area, 13 and a half points. It's very clear. This is just a mechanical system, guys. It's all it is price. And now, of course, you can get better at it. You could have looked at this newer low and or this anchor bar over here and said, "Hey, I want to take an aggressive short." Fine, by all means, do it. My goal is to teach you how to become better traders, not tell you what to do. I want you guys to figure it out. I want you guys to learn to do this. I want you guys to see the value in what I'm teaching you and be able to see this on the chart, because this is mechanically what price does. Price is the ultimate indicator. Price leads in the direction we have to be aware of. Like I said, me personally, I'm very cautious when we get in these areas, because I can tell you, you could have made 16 points here. You could have lost 22 points in here. Easy. Just between all of this rotation, it could have chewed you up if you didn't know what you were doing. And remember, we're on a 2-minute chart, waiting for that confirmation, waiting for that low and that increased volume. That's when you're going to get the definition. And look, we came down almost immediately right down to my target level. I mean, look, we may get a little lower, but I mean, how close is this? Does that look like the target level I drew? Remember back over here on this 10-minute chart? Remember these targets I drew back over here many, many moons ago, like 40 minutes ago, that were all based on this previous price action? Well, guess what, guys? We're there. We're already into this middle target zone right now, right over here. And if we continue to break down, we may end up lower. Now, I will warn you that this zone right here, this is probably the hardest floor you're going to find right here. Okay, meaning this is a pretty good idea of where price will try to move back up out of this. So be aware, if we get below this, that's a pretty strong selling point coming down into this area, or at least this area. But this is going to be good, solid support. And the reason I tell you this is because this is based on the 382 to 50 level right here. And that is a move from this low all the way up to, where is it? Where is it? This high. This is the big Friday recovery. So this is going to be a very solid support level for everybody to pay attention to. Okay, let me come in here. Come in here. We've already got everything where we're at. I've gone over everything, 16 minutes, 2 minutes charts. Okay, here we go. We're coming right down into these lows. Beautiful example day to day. So we broke below the ultimate low. We got above our confirmed, or we failed to get above our confirmed bullish trigger. We know which side confirmed very clearly, the bearish side confirmed. And now we're looking to see how deep we get here. And we're already well into my support zone. And by my estimate, we may get down here to 2561, maybe 2562, which we've already pretty much gotten to, into this area right here and find support. And then, like I said, this is pretty hard support, in my opinion. This is going to be a beast to try to get through. But if it does, look out below. Okay. It could be very dangerous on a strong close below that. Ultimately, I still do believe we're moving higher. We are short term bearish, intermediate term bearish right now, and long term bullish. The reason we're long term bullish is you can come back over here, it's going to look funny, but on a daily chart, we have had higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Everything that we're looking at over here is, 20, 30, 50 minutes, a couple of hours. Daily, we're in a good solid uptrend. We have to get way below this level down here and then break below this ultimate low down here to even start considering a longer term downtrend or crash or anything of that nature. We're a long way away from any major downward trend. This is all short and intermediate term, meaning for the next couple of hours, maybe not. Because, like I said, we've already gotten down here. We're starting to stall out. Here's our support, just like I told you. And you can remember right back over here when we were going through all of this, I was already drawing these going, hey, this is where price is going to stall. This is where it's going to hit support. Look what happened. Hit that level, bounced. Hit this level, probably going to bounce here as well. It's called the mechanics of trading. And what it really is Fibonacci price theory, anchor bars, and Fibonacci retracements and extensions. That's all it is. It's purely price. No indicators, no RSI, no stochastics. You can use it. No funky whatever. It's just price. That's all it is. And that's what I'm trying to teach you is all you need is price. Okay, guys, hope you enjoy these videos. I'll try to come back to you after I get some breakfast.